set with your fastest lap of the session.
All right, let's take a look at that. So this is going to be first lap hot lap. No, sorry. No. Second lap hot lap. First lap is about the same, but I found that second lap I was a little bit more grip in one. That's the only difference. You can definitely make first lap work, and you're only going to be losing like max a couple hundredths of a second. So don't worry about it too much, but just know that it's slightly faster to go second. So to set up for the lap, I go all the way up to the top, try to get it turned down as early as possible. And then as I turn it down, I go full throttle. It's not that, like, you can do it a variety of ways because the car is going to be chipping out right at the start finish line anyways. So this doesn't matter too much. Breaking point, you can see about right here. I don't have any good markers for you. I was just going off of vibes, but brake to about 50%. This track, I just got done making the video for Xfinity at Gateway. This track feels exactly like Gateway if there were no straightaways. Like that honestly, that's what it feels like to me. So if you've been driving Gateway and Xfinity, just drive it like this. So entering the corner, we start out 50% brake in a straight line. As we start to turn our wheel, we back our brake down to a trail of about 10 to 20%, more around 10. Once our car sticks to the seam, we're aiming at the seam, not this white line. Don't aim at the white dashed line, aim at this seam right here. So aim at the seam. Once we stick to the seam, we pick up half throttle, and we hold that half throttle until we're able to unload the steering wheel fully. I push it just a tiny bit because I experimented and found that you can push the throttle a fraction of a second before you unload the wheel on hot lap, and that's how you get like a few hundredths of a second. But in terms of pure fundamentals, don't full throttle until you unload the wheel. Okay. All right, now 3 and 4, same exact deal. The only difference is 4 is a little bit wider of an exit, so we can get on the throttle earlier. But same braking. We're going to be braking, so about 40 to 50%. Aim at the seam. As we start to turn our wheel, we back down our brake to a 20 to 10%. Once we stick to that seam, we get to 50% throttle, and we hold that 50% throttle until we see daylight. We see the exit of the corner here. We know that we can unload our wheel, drive the car straight up the track, go full throttle. If you watched on my main channel, the short track guide video, that's pretty much everything here. Oopsie. Everything that I talk about there is applicable to here. So I'll go over all the steps one more time. Brake to slow down, back it to a trail brake and turn your wheel, stick it to the line you want to stick it to, and then transfer the trail brake to half throttle. Hold the half throttle until the car is able to go full throttle up the hill, and then you go full throttle up the hill and stay off the wall. Easy enough. Alrighty, now let's go take a look at long run. Alright, now let's talk about long run. So, this, I think I probably have already said it in the fall review by now, but this track feels like Gateway with no straightaways to me in this combo. It's all about getting in this pocket, and this pocket is exactly this line, so I almost just like brake straight for it, and then just roll the bottom, and then I don't even really worry about getting off the corner, especially because the straightaways aren't very long. It's all about that entry. If you can just get used to hitting this seam on entry every single time, you're really not going to have a problem. I lowered my brake bias a little bit so that I can get more rotation in the mid-corner. That seems to be very important for building a run off the corner. But even then, I don't think that that's super important. Like if you're really struggling on corner entry braking, say you're sliding your tires on entry, not able to stick the bottom, you're always bouncing off of it, you might want to raise your brake bias because that'll make it more stable, but you'll have to be on the brakes longer in the corner to get it to turn. That's kind of the trade-off that you get. But as you can see, it's very easy to run consistent laps if you just run right on this seam. The one thing that you want to avoid is gassing up too early, especially off turn 2. Turn 4, it's a pretty wide relatively, so you can kind of get on the gas a little earlier. But turn 2, you really want to avoid forcing the gas too early. That's how you slide your rear tires. And once you slide your rear tires once, that heat will stick with you forever, and you'll be at a disadvantage from there on. So it's all about being disciplined. Definitely be conscious of being disciplined, getting back the throttle in 2. As you can see, the car already wants to slide up on its own. If you force the throttle early, you're not going to poke yourself out. Whereas before, you can see I can get on the throttle earlier because I have that wider room. As for tires, I mean, as long as you're not sliding and overheating and running this line, I don't foresee tires becoming an issue. Like, just run not as hard as you want per se, but just don't actively underdrive to save tires if you're able to hit this line over and over again. I don't think dynamic track will make any lines better than this. Let's try the bottom for the next lap, and after we try the very bottom and kind of show this kind of lap, then we'll call it a day. Maybe I'll try one on the outside. It's not bad. Never mind. Maybe the bottom is good. Huh. Well, I didn't expect that. It's a little worse. I think this is... It feels the same on your tires. I think if you're struggling off the corner, I would go to the bottom because you're not forced to be as aggressive on the throttle. Let's try the top. Bottom is fine. It's definitely not quite as fast as the second groove, but it's fine. Very top, no way. No way is that good. Unfortunately. Multi-groove cannot make this groove work. There's absolutely no way. Okay, so middle lane, fast lane, bottom lane if your rear tires start heating up so that you don't have to pedal to the metal as early. But yeah, that's pretty good to know. 98, 98. Like I said, tire wear is not going to be a thing, really. Just don't be like spinning out every corner, you know what I mean? All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. I hope to see you all on the track.